Hey everybody, good morning. It is Pete. Welcome to this episode of Best Stock Picks today. It is Thursday, June 11, 2020. I want to start out by saying thank you to everybody who took advantage of some of the calls that we made yesterday, specifically Zoom. We're going to point that out because I want to make sure that you personally have that idea and especially that trading strategy in mind, because it's very easy to find. It's really just a question of having faith in the probability of what happens, which is a contraction leading to an expansion in volatility, leading to one really good day of profits. And we made it clear yesterday that it was a one-day strategy. You could hold it longer, assuming all other conditions are quote-unquote normal. Yesterday was anything but normal. As I said in the very early yesterday morning, I generally don't trade actively on FOMC days or options expiration. Obviously, yesterday was FOMC day. And if you happen to be day trading, you can see why. The market was good probably for the first 2 hours, right up till 11 o'clock, 11:30. As we said in the morning, again, having a lot of experience, you've been through this quite often. You know when it's easier to make money and when to step aside. And I'm glad we made that call yesterday, especially as a community. One of the biggest things we got yesterday was people thankful for staying out of harm's way so that you have some better opportunities. We had some amazing tape reading calls yesterday as well, calling the bottom in PENN and AAL and CAR yesterday for short-term $3 moves to the upside, specifically in CAR and PENN. So nice job, everybody who did that. But the trade of the day today that we're going to be taking a look at is Boeing and a few other stocks that were on fire last week. That could do no wrong and now have pulled back a decent amount. We were actually looking to get long Boeing at 200, which I did yesterday for a quick trade to the upside. It was a $10 bounce, but did not hold on to it specifically because of the external stuff that's going on in the market right now, specifically the interest rate announcement yesterday. So I'm going to point that out today. A few other stocks, obviously the airlines we're going to take a look at today. Still don't have any stocks on the short side, despite the fact that the futures are opening up significantly lower this morning. I am still looking to be a buyer today if certain criteria is met. Now, that's one of the biggest questions that I get during the day, and specifically in emails and people that are looking to join the boot camp is, well, how do you read the tape right now? Everything's digital, everything's electronic, and that's not what tape reading is. Tape reading is building an argument for a great idea and putting all the pieces together to say, wow, that's awesome, versus, wow, that's crap, staying away from it. So we're going to go right into the charts now, and hopefully we'll have some pretty good ideas to focus on today. But again, I wanted to start out with Zoom. If you remember yesterday morning, we had 3 different stocks that met the criteria, and Zoom just played out in a monster way where it was a really good trade yesterday, just to give you an idea of how it played out, even despite the fact that the FOMC announcement, which was, if you don't know what I'm talking about, this is what happened yesterday in the market, and I'll actually exaggerate it even more on a 5-minute chart. So you can see we're actually below the opening price most of the day yesterday, which, you know, if you want a regular subscriber to the channel, that means that today's order flow was not matching the longer term order flow, which reduced the probability of profits, and that's what actually ended up happening. But you can see in Zoom, we actually got the price action that we wanted right out of the gate. And then the Fed-induced news at the end of the day was completely ignored by the stock. So congratulations to everybody. One of the biggest complaints that we get is that I missed it or I couldn't find an entry. That was not the case in Zoom yesterday. It actually opened at the previous day's high and gave you absolutely an opportunity to get long. And then if you didn't, the afternoon had a nice consolidation for another push higher. So really good job, everybody who emailed me yesterday. And I'm really proud of you for taking action. That's a big deal. So Boeing is the trade that we're going to be focusing on today. Again, yesterday I said early in the week, or even maybe it was last Friday when we were exploding, I said, boy, I'd really love to be able to get it down at 200. Well, now it's at 190, 135. If you loved it at 200, today's going to be a different opportunity. I am looking to bid for the stock today. I'm hoping that it opens lower, pushes lower, gets all the week longs out of the equation, finds a bottom, and then looking to initiate a new swing trade long. Very, very different, though, when you're buying a lower opening in a stock that's well offered compared to buying a lower opening in a stock that's well bid. Well offered means lower lows, lower highs, and closing on the lows. You could tend to find some amazing opportunities, assuming that previously there was really good order flow. But you can see here in Boeing, there's not great order flow. We're basically talking about the last 2 weeks worth of trading, that's not amazing order flow. And you compare that to something like this, like Apple, where we've had clear order flow for months. Big difference in just looking at those charts. So again, when you're talking about tape reading and talking about setting up the trades, this is what separates somebody who's a chart reader who's not making money from somebody who's a trader that gets paid every month, is setting up the odds of follow through based on how much money has the smart money committed to this, how much capital was committed to the idea. And right now you're talking about it was really doing nothing until the last couple of weeks. You know, you could say it bounced here, but that's still a part of this multi-month trading range. So we're really talking about this. So I do like the long. I am going to be looking for a long, and there's other stocks that meet that criteria today too. CAR, which was an amazing swing trade for us. We're going to take a look at that one today. Again, open lower, push lower. Hopefully we get the exact price action that we want. PENN has been one that's been very actively traded in the community, has been an amazing trade. Interesting in PENN yesterday, we had somebody in the community ask about whether or not you should carry it overnight, and it was very clear the answer was no, because it didn't do certain things that you need to see at the end of the day to warrant holding it overnight. You're going to hold overnight, you want that thing to be moving in your favor. The same thing with adding to a position, you want it moving in your favor, and that's just good trading, right? And it didn't meet the criteria, so we did not suggest holding it overnight. Same thing with the airlines. Air American actually pulled back and is through the breakout support that we had. So again, if you loved it last week, which by the way, I hope you listened, big part of trading is avoiding low probability trades. We said, how do you get involved in this thing? It's up 40, 50, 100% in 2 days. Now it's pulled back. Now you're going to see if the people that pushed it up, the smart money that pushed it up, or the day trading money that pushed it up, are they still here? Because if they loved it over there, you should be loving it again. So you should be looking for a spot here if you believe that was a good opportunity, which also brings to another question that you get all the time is how long do you know how long to hold the trades? And really it comes down to if you make 100% in 2 days, where else are you going to get that? Take it off the table. If it's especially if you're trading. Now we're not talking about investing, we're talking about trading. So on the airline stocks, the stuff to keep an eye on, obviously AAL, UAL, SAVE, just to give everybody the exact symbols to be taken a look at. And most of these stocks I'm looking for a lower opening to find buyers. And again, you're not just buying the lower opening, you need to monitor or have a buy stop above the market for where it turns around. A couple of stocks that actually were strong and closed strong that we'll be looking for, again, for some buying opportunities. This is relative strength play. Remember, we talked about that quite a bit. Relative strength compared to what the market did. Market closed weak yesterday. This stock closed strong, so relative strength to the market, DDOG, as well as Chris Gladner's favorite stock, OSTK, breaking out of a trading range. Also relative strength. Now, obviously, what you need to pay attention to is volume, breaking out on good volume. So what's the key to a good breakout trade? You want to see it on the long side to be well bid again, which means we want to see higher highs and higher lows. We're going to see a lower opening here, but we need to see it break above yesterday's high if you happen to not be long already. Another one to take a look at today is CrowdStrike. Nice consolidation, relative strength to the rest of the market, did not pull back. Can open a little bit lower with the rest of the market, but I do like yesterday's relative strength compared to the rest of the market. DocuSign as well, also going to open lower. Another one inside candlestick breakout yesterday, did not trend as much as Zoom, but you get the idea. Before I forget, earnings today are Adobe, scheduled for after the close, LULU, which has been making new all-time highs often lately, and Play, which has actually been a stock that has gotten a lot of questions in the community as well. So those are the ideas for today. I actually will be watching like a hawk today. I mean, if you liked Boeing last week, how do you not like it today? One thing I will say, though, if you really want to take your trading to another level, coming into the week and go back to the tape on Monday, I said I thought we were going to have profit taking this week. I really believe that we got some follow through on the downside, was way overdue. I never like to use the word overbought or oversold, but it was overbought. And Friday was like the end of the party, and we said Monday and into the week we're going to have a hangover. How you interpret what the Fed said yesterday is completely up to you, but really price action right now is not liking it. Pre-market, we're trading lower right now. It depends on how aggressive you are and your time frame for how much you want to be long right now. Is it long for the day, long for the next 2 days? Or do you believe we're going to follow through to the downside? With the futures right now, the S&P futures are down a lot. We're down 54 points. That's a lot. We haven't been down that much in a while, but when you take in the context of everything, when just a week ago we were saying nothing ever goes down, there should be an opportunity to at least get long. But here's the key. If we get long and it doesn't follow through, be disciplined and get out or reduce your share size. That's real trading. You don't have to say I'm getting long and just hold it and watch the thing move against you. Get long, manage the position, know what you expect to have happen. If it does, great. Hold on to it. If you get long and it pulls back, reduce share size or kick it out and look for a spot to get back in. Commissions are so cheap these days. It's much better to manage a position, lower risk size, and get back in than it is to hold the thing and watch yourself be down a bunch of money. So have a great day. We're going to have some volatility today. Awesome. Let's see if we get a nice 2-day trend to partake in right now.